right, I recently received the forestry package from logOX in the mail, and here on this day what I'm showing, kind of displaying and using, kind of getting used to myself, is this logOX Hauler and then the logOX Pickaroon, and I'll show you just how handy those are. And I knew that they would be very handy at the stave mill, and these rounds are not easy to handle, they're not easy to move, so these tools make it so much easier, they truly do. Kind of show how I use it. This is white oak, all this from a stave mill. So I kind of just flip it on its side, grab it like that, and then from here, not like wood either. I'll kind of do it again here. So what I'm doing is prying it over, and as you can see, it's already in place to grab it, grabbing it, picking it up, and releasing. This is a big one here. For these bigger ones, what I like to do with this personally, some are much bigger than this even, but what I like to do is just try to get a grip to where I can drag it. So like this, and then from here I can drag this thing now. And this is probably 80 pounds around the wood, but as you can see now, I'm not bending down real far, trying to lift it, and I'm dragging, and all I got to do is give it a little one of them, and it's ready to split. The other day I pulled a fence post with this. See that? Lots of guys like to get those pieces. That's all you got to do. And there it is. This makes loading and pulling and hauling and all that stuff a lot easier. Very handy tool. It also has a handle, and I'll get more into all of that later. But this tool alone right here, for me so far, has been very handy. You can even move pieces of firewood with it, so you don't got to bend down so far. Grab and release. That easy. Very handy tool from logOX. Alright, this is a Pickaroon from logOX. See there how it's got a little beak? Got this handle. You can detach it easily like this.
Saves your back a lot, doesn't it?
Very handy for dragging the wood and everything here.
I think it sticks better than a chopping axe. You know it?
That's what it's for. Flip it on over to the easier split side.
Do a good kick to it. What's your next one?
I got all these rounds out right here from this pile with it. Now, as you see, what I'm using it for is to hook into the wood here, get it up, put that there, and then split. Got a knot, but
you got it.
If you got a bad back, this could really help it.
Or if you just don't feel like bending over.
So you can see how this hauler would be handy for lifting the rounds either onto your chopping block, onto your trailer, into your truck bed, or onto your log splitter.
And even just for pulling the big ones around, I mean, to me, that was extremely handy, because normally what I do is roll them, and that's not the easiest thing, especially if they've got knots in them and stuff like that. They don't want to roll very well. But this gives you a grip on it to where you're standing in more of an upright position, the hauler does, and just gives you some leverage, a little more leverage to pull with as well. And then, as you can see here, this Pickaroon, it truly works fantastic. I actually had fun using it. So I'll kind of let the video play, and because I talked throughout that a little bit, but I knew that these would be handy tools. And so, like I said, whether you've got a hydraulic splitter, you split by hand, and you want to use a chopping block, normally I don't use a chopping block, but for me, loading my truck, loading my trailer, dragging the wood around, it's extremely handy. And sometimes when I'm in gravel and stuff, I will use a chopping block, but a lot of times I don't. It's just a lot more efficient for me to not use one. But if you do, this would be a very handy tool combination for you. And as I said, it's the forestry package. That it comes with all of those things. You can also buy the tools separate. And I will have a link in the description where you can order the forestry package. And if you use the code Bluegrass, you can get $10 off your first order. But logOX, they're American-made tools. I've spoken with Austin in email. He seems like a very friendly guy. Steve told me that he's met him, and he's a very friendly guy. And I think it's him and his family that have kind of designed this tool. And if you're doing firewood, or even if, say, maybe you live on a lot of land and you do your own firewood or woodworking or whatever, the forestry package, it would be a great investment. I truly believe that. I wouldn't say that if I didn't. They're very solid tools. They're very handy. The Pickaroon it's very easy to take apart, and then you can use that handle right there as well in the hauler. And later I'll get into that in a different video, because I'm planning to do a video specifically on the forestry package itself. In this video, I'm mainly using the Pickaroon and the hauler, and I'm kind of getting used to them myself. This is really my first time using these much. I think earlier this day I had used them a little bit, but not much. So you're seeing how easy it is, because I'm new to this myself and kind of learning how. So as you can see, it grips it good, the Pickaroon, which is what you want, but at the same time, it's not so hard that you can't get it off there. And I also knew it would be handy for this, because sometimes I've had those rounds almost get me trying to pull them out of that pile. And this gives you some length in between you and them, and some leverage as well. So two very handy tools here, the logOX hauler and the logOX Pickaroon. If you do firewood, or like I said, woodworking even, they'd be very handy. I pulled some, I think, 8-foot fence posts the other day with the hauler, and they're probably around 100 pounds each, and it made that so much easier.
All right, so I'm at the stave mill and I'm testing this Pickaroon from logOX. And as you can see, it's got this little beak here on it, which actually lets it grip the wood very well. This is very heavy wood, white oak, and as you can see here, you knock it in there, and it's got a pretty good grip on it, which is what you want. And then what I've been doing is kind of like an axe. I've just kind of been wiggling it back and forth, and it comes out, but it's meant to grip the wood. Then I've got this carrier here. This is very handy. So even with these big heavy rounds of white oak, like this one here, I'd say is, I weighed one similar to this earlier. I'm guessing that's 80 or 90 pounds. See, there we go. I got a grip on it, and then I can just drag this around, as you see. So makes it so much easier. It really does. I've dealt with these a lot, and that makes it a lot easier. To at least you can pull up like that. There's other ways as well. Now what I like this for too, if you're a chopping block guy and you got your wood on the ground, I'm not, but for me to get these on my log splitter at home would be a little higher, but it's the same concept, or onto my trailer, because sometimes I do come and load the trailer, but it's the same concept. Just pull it up, see there, that made it so much easier. Now what I would do, I would get this axe here, knock it on the chopping block a little. Sometimes you have some nice splitting wood like that.
One hit, that's crazy.
Got a knot. As you can see, there's a knot. Pretty gnarly wood, some of this white oak. See that? But it still needs to be split down. Yeah, that's a pretty gnarly piece of wood right there. Turn this around and show it to you. If you're working with wood all day, you know, these movements do take their toll over time. I feel all kinds of ache and pain, and I'm 33 years old. But right now, I'm trying to just make firewood because I've got around 4 face boards sewed. I'm going through a knot here. We're through it. Got some strings hooking, white oak. This one. Now, here's where this comes in handy. So you don't got to bend down all day. You got to have a decent aim, you know, if you're hand split wood or whatever. And this tool right here will make it a lot easier for you. So I would guess that softwoods, this would probably fit in even easier. This is very hard wood, white oak. But as you can see, it fits in. And once it goes in, you actually kind of got to fight it loose, which is what you want. You want to be able to move the wood with this.
That's what it's for.
You got another piece there that can be split some more. So I've got a few different rounds here to split, and I'm just going to kind of show you how I'm using these tools. I also use the Pickaroon to get every one of these out.
Yeah.
Did we get footage of that?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Like 10 minutes of it.
Okay, good. Sometimes you can do that motion if you do it hard to where you can kind of just flick it, but what I've been doing is kind of bending down, up, hit, bend towards it. See, that's just what I've been doing, and I'm just now started using it. But I can tell you, this is handy.
Yeah.
You don't like bending over, it's hard on your back. This is what you want. There we go. Now, go for another one. This is very handy. I pulled some big posts the other day with this, probably 8-foot long posts, 100 pounds each probably. Knot. Yeah, that's handy.
Yeah.
That is.
I was using it a little bit earlier too, and I liked it a lot.
Okay, got a couple more here. See, it's one hand to use, you just got to learn how it works. Kind of what you need to do and everything exactly.
So as you can see here, I'm trying to show how effective these really are. And I'm a young man, I'm 33. I said earlier that I had a lot of aches and pains. I don't really have any that are real consistent. I hurt every now and then, you know, I'm sore after work, but it usually goes away pretty quick. You know, I recover pretty quick and don't have really what I would call a bad back, though I feel it in my back sometimes. You know, when I stand up, my back's a little stiff and stuff like that, but I don't have like really any bad injuries yet. So I believe that this tool could help me keep it that way, because I'm always, if you've watched me, I'm lifting heavy stuff and stuff like that quite a bit, and probably not doing things in the smartest way. But I do believe that this tool can help prevent that in the future. Because I know once you hurt your back, had people tell me before, once you hurt it, it's never the same once you really hurt it bad. That's what I've had some of my uncles tell me who have bad backs. So, whether you're older or younger, I believe that these tools would be handy for you. And as I said, you can buy these separate. You can buy the Hauler, the logOX Hauler. You can buy the logOX Pickaroon, or you can buy the whole forestry package, which I would recommend if you're doing firewood and working with wood at all. If you even, like I said, have your own land. I know there's lots of people that have quite a bit of acreage, and they harvest their own wood. If that's your case, I would definitely recommend the forestry package. I mean, it would just be a great investment that would help your body and make it more enjoyable, make it easier. As you can see, it's very effective. The Pickaroon, that same handle there attaches to the Hauler as well. You can take that Pickaroon tip out and attach it to the Hauler and use it as a log lift, a timber lift, and also a log roller to move your logs, which would have been really handy for me in the 200-acre woods if I would have had this package then. And I definitely believe that it will be handy here at the stave mill as well. So I'll tell you another thing that I really like a Pickaroon for is when you've got rounds of wood in your truck bed, so you're not having to climb in and out. You can stand there on the ground and just pull it out with the Pickaroon. So that's actually one of my favorite uses of a Pickaroon. But here I am at the stable. I'm kind of just showing you, and take this into account as well. I'm new to these tools. These are new to me. I think I literally opened the box this day on a live. Some of y'all may have seen that. So I'm new to this stuff. What I'm saying about this around here is I can tell pretty much instantly that it's got a tougher grain. Some of this white oak is straight grain. It's easy to split. Some of it's almost like the grain is almost interlocked in a way, like it's compressed. So that's kind of what I'm showing here. This is Carter's axe that Rick got him, the X25. It's got a 28-inch handle, which for a chopping block is in a way almost better. But I have trouble a little bit here. In a little bit, I go and get Sheriff Adler.
Oh, ain't too tough for the sheriff.
So, in just what little bit of time I was here at the stave mill, I began to get used to that Hauler and the Pickaroon more. They're very easy to use, very comfortable. The Hauler is great just because you don't have to bend over. One of my favorite uses for it personally right now is pulling the rounds around, because I've tried to row a lot of those rounds of white oak, and like I said, if they're kind of gnarly, which some of the butt ends are, they're not real round, or if they got knots on them or whatever, they just don't row very well. So being able to have that extra leverage and stand in more of an upright position and drag it, it works so well. It truly does. So these tools are very well designed. I'm very happy with them. Here's Carter kind of using it here, and he liked it too. He used it and the Pickaroon some. So I kind of fast forward here because that round he has pretty tough, and I'm kind of just showing him using these tools. But as you can see, Carter's 12 and he has no problem using that. But very handy tools. Here's what we got. As I said earlier, I'll have a link in the description to where if you want to get the forestry package, you can. If you decide you want to just buy one tool individually, you can do that as well. But if you use the code Bluegrass, that will give you $10 off of your order, and I will also get a portion of the sale. But you all be safe out there. God bless. I truly believe that you would be happy if you're in the firewood business or anything similar with these tools.